Okay, how are you? Hi everyone, the Voyage family. Welcome back to this channel. Today we have an octogenarian in the house whose name is Mr. Lateef Akobi Ladejo, who started his career and in 1967 and moved and ended his career as a deputy registrar at Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, and retired in 2002. Sir, you're welcome to our channel.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we have few questions for you.
Okay.
How was your experience in the university? When you got to, how did you even get to the peak of the career?
Well, it's quite interesting. When I first started work in UCH, it was as a junior staff, but God was so merciful to me. I rose quickly, and I got to the position of a departmental secretary. From there, I moved on to UI. From UI, I had to leave to go and do a degree. So that took some years. After graduation in 1980, I was I served the NYC in the campus there. We were requested for. I served in the registry. After the NYC in 1981, we were again posted to the registry as an administrative personnel. But before you become an administrative person, you've got to undergo a test. So we were about 12 in number, and we were summoned to come and attend an interview for the post of administrative, for conversion to administrative staff properly. The interview was held, only 5 of us were taken.
Wow.
The rest 7 were dropped, and they became PE into the executive line. So we moved on, and I became an AO1 in 1983. After that, we were being posted from one office to the other. The university job as an administrative officer is quite daunting and demanding. Most of the jobs in the university for administrative staff, they are time bound. It's not a question of let me do it the other day. You've got to do it that day when it is required. And you've got to be dedicated. You must be very honest and up and doing, and you must be ready to learn. The hierarchical structure of the administrative system in the university is quite interesting because from AO1 you become the assistant registrar, from assistant registrar to senior assistant registrar, from assistant registrar to principal assistant registrar. That's a management level. Before you become a deputy registrar, you've got to undergo an interview. It is not by promotion. You've got to earn it by interview. You undergo an interview, and if you are successful, then you become a deputy registrar. Thereafter, it's only 1 year registrar that you have in every university.
Yes.
But I understand now that they've, in fact, tried to ensure that people are now being made to be happy by the creation of directorates. That is, if you become a deputy registrar and you are very okay, you can become a director of a unit, and you earn USS 15 or so. But normally, deputy registrar US 14 is more or less the highest peak, and that's an administrator can reach within any university. The job is quite interesting, varied, depending on where you are posted. Especially if you become a faculty officer, you go to attend academic board meetings, departmental meetings, and whatever, and those minutes must be ready. The action points must be taken into consideration, and things must be done as at when due. Even when if you have a meeting and your car broke down in the road, you've got to abandon that car and attend the meeting. You cannot afford not to be there because you
Wow.
summoned the meeting and you must be there at
Yeah.
the appointed time. And
No excuse.
actually, where I was in the student affairs office for almost 6 years.
Six years, student affairs.
Yes, as
Did you
student.
know him as I'm sure most of the people that you trained or they were under you will have been big boys and big girls now. Are you one
Oh,
of them? Please engage us in the comment section. If you
okay.
know this wonderful man and he has impacted your life positively, please let us know. And sir, dealing with students is a very difficult task, sir. So how did you cope?
Well, it's God's assistance and willingness to serve.
Willingness to serve.
Because what actually happened when I was posted there, I think it was in 1996. Our students wanted to forcefully wanted to go and they wanted to go and get by force their colleagues who were arrested. They wanted
Okay.
to get them out by force from the police station. And it is only a stupid person that will go and dare a lion in its den at Ibarra. So we were there, myself and some other staff, about three. The DPO there was so magnanimous, he had, in fact, agreed to release the affected students who were arrested, about 3 or 4 of them. And we were at the point of signing their bail bond when our students invaded the station. And lo and behold, hell was let loose. In fact, I
Wow.
was beaten up along with the students.
Oh my
I
God.
had to be rushed to our health center for
As
treatment
a student
as a student affairs officer
officer,
because it was very difficult for them to distinguish who is a student and who is not a
the
student.
students.
So I didn't take offense.
So
I
was it
took
the
it
student
as
that
one.
beat you up or it was the
It
police
was the
officer?
police, the
Oh, they
mobile
didn't know
police.
you were the one that came to
Yes,
rescue the students in
yes,
the
because our student wanted to invade
student
the
wanted to
session.
invade the
They
session.
were under
Oh.
siege and they could not take it. The police could not take it.
Hmm.
So they called for the Mopo who came and they were beating everybody around, they could see around. So I was caught in the
Wow.
melee and I was beaten up.
It's a
But I
difficult
didn't
task.
take offense. It's one of
Wow.
the answers of the job. And, we moved on. We were able to resolve the issue. We got to the commissioner of police at Elewe and
Yeah.
the whole thing was settled. And
Wow.
then after, there were a few other skirmishes, students locking you out because there is no water,
Students
electricity
again.
wasn't taken. One point that actually amused me, and whenever I think of it, I laugh. There was this disabled students
Okay.
who we were always spitting, and we ensured that he was given accommodation, despite that he wasn't qualified to be there. And on one occasion, I found out that he was one of the ringleaders of the students protesting, locking us out.
So when you say a disabled student, do you mean he's not qualified to be in the
No,
university
no,
and
no,
you just
no.
pity
He's
him?
disabled physically.
Oh, like he wants the
Yeah,
special
the
candidates, the
special
special
candidate, he
people.
couldn't walk
Okay.
well,
Yeah, so
and
we give
so it's on
priority because he has
compassionate grounds we give him
admission.
accommodation
Okay,
because the
accommodation.
accommodation is limited. It's
Okay,
not
sir.
every student that can be accommodated.
Mm.
So we had a very few then at
Mm.
FUNAB, and we were very selective, and there are criteria that you've got to meet before you can be given could be given accommodation then.
Mm.
I know they've expanded now.
Okay.
So when I cited that student, he was hiding. He didn't want me to see him. So after we've resolved the issue, and then there came the new session. He came again for accommodation. So I now asked him to come in. I said, "You who was given accommodation? You were leading a mob." I couldn't say anything. But lo and behold, you just have to do what you have to do.
You gave him
We,
again.
we still gave him, but we
Please,
warned
if you
them.
are just students, you need to reach out to this wonderful man.
So we just have to let it go.
But
But we
sir, how do
warned
you think
them.
students can resolve their
You see,
grievances?
a lot of things could be done. Consultation.
Mm.
We know that things are not normal nowadays. Even in our homes, how many times do we have electricity? And burning diesel is quite expensive.
It is.
You want the university to go on burning diesel 24/7. Where would they get the money?
And the
So at
government is
least
not
they've got to
sponsoring.
see, consult the authorities. Everything is not, let's go and close it up, let's go and burn this place down. Even if you burn the place down, you've got to pay for it later. Your parents will pay. So what's the need in going haywire? Why don't we judge instead of war?
So are you an undergraduate student there? Did you listen to the advice right now? There are other ways of showing your grievances, like our wonderful man just said, consultation. Before you make your decision, please consult. And if you have any other question, please the comment section. Don't forget to like our channel, subscribe, and follow us for more of this wonderful advice from an octogenarian. Okay, so the peak of your career, when was your lowest point that you will never forget?
The lowest point was actually if you were denied promotion on no just grounds. I was an AO1 for 6 years. It was quite traumatizing. That was what led me to leave the University of Ibadan for the Federal University of Agric. And when we were to go to the Federal University of Agric, there was that advertisement. We applied. I think about 6 of us from UI wanted to cross. We got there and they said we were meant to write a 3-hour paper. About 74 of us that applied throughout the Federation. So we wrote a 3-hour paper and we were told to show up the following day. The following day, they started announcing those who have passed according to their own grading. And I was lucky to be one of them. Unfortunately, the rest 5 with whom we went there to Abeokuta, they could not make it. They eventually made it elsewhere, but they could not make that point. So we were there, and you see, the work in a new university is quite demanding. It's not a question of 8 to 4 or 8 to 5. It depends on what the day dictates. So, and you are very happy at doing it because you find yourself in a vantage position where you've got to take decisive decisions. If the job demands and you are at a meeting, you can be there till 7. You know.
Well, sir, were you married then? And how did you cope with your
happily married. I did not go with my family to Abeokuta.
Okay.
All of them were in Ibadan.
Okay,
and I was shortly between Abeokuta and Ibadan. I would go on Monday, come back on Friday, go back on Monday. And my wife held the fort. Glory be to God.
Okay, so when was your highest point during
the highest point was, in the university system, the academics, they hold the say. They are the primary appointees of the university. We should not delude ourselves. There's that opportunity for a management staff to get sabbatical appointments. But it's very, very difficult for an administrator to get a sabbatical appointment. Here I am, who was about to retire, and I was thinking if I could get a sabbatical appointment that, in fact, would assist me, experience-wise, and morally and financially too. Because when you are on sabbatical, you know what holds. I don't have to go into that details. So I applied to several universities in Nigeria and from Ghana or something. I wanted to have a leeway to go and spend a year or 2 elsewhere before I retire.
Okay, sir.
So I just walked to Olabisi Onabanjo University one day to go and find out what was happening with my application. And God is a wonderful God. I went into the registrar's office, talked with him. He's a friend. And when I got out of that, I just met the new vice chancellor. Don't want to mention names now.
No problem, sir.
And Here is a man, he was a lecturer, he was a senior lecturer in 1983, and I was an AO1 in UI. We had to work together, and I was an administrative officer one. I had to serve on a committee where he was, and he took to me. We became friends. He's another person, but he displayed that he loved me. So when I saw him on the call, he said, Latif, what do you want here? I said, I never knew you were here. As I said, yes, I've just assumed as a vice chancellor of this university. He held my hands, took me to his office and said, what do you want? I said, I want a sabbatical appointment. Do you want to come and resume tomorrow?
Oh my God.
So it was just as simple as
news.
that.
Hard work, I guess. Hard work.
And
pays.
you know, when you do certain things, God will reward you. You may not know when. It was what I did in 1983 that I now gained in 2000.
Wow.
So God was wonderful. And that,
what
it
he
was
did
a turning point.
It
was a turning point in my career and financially too. When you're earning double salary, you know what that means.
So what he did in 1983,
when we were together.
When you were together with
in the University of Ibadan.
Okay, you now heard.
They are now earned it in 2000 at OOU.
That's like how many years apart?
Almost about 17 or so.
Please. I'm sure if you don't know this man at University of Ibadan, you would have known him at Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. If you have any question, please comment, like, share, and if you have gained one or two things, please don't forget to comment and like and share so that people can see. There's nothing like learning from other people's experience. We are learning from his wealth of experience right now, and we want you, our family, to comment and also like and share. Sir, let's talk about retirement, sir.
Okay.
Did you have any plan of retirement before you retired, or it was when you retired that you plan that you?
10 years before I retired.
Okay, sir.
I've had it in mind that I should be doing something because to the glory of God, I'm a workaholic. I don't like sitting down. I'm always thinking, what next? So in 1994, I started planning for my retirement. I had 2 or 3 options. Should I be looking for an appointment after retirement? Should I set up a trade? If I've got to set up a trade, what type of trade can I do? So, but God is a wonderful God. And in anything that we've got to do, let's put God first. Pray. Pray and fast. After that fasting, then you will see that those things will just be coming. And you can now you can now pick. What I'm doing today, I started in 1994 before I retired. I had to venture into part-time trading. Because in 1994, I was spending my salary for 1 week. Once I earn the salary, it ends that week. How did I survive 3 weeks? So I had to put on a thinking cap. What next? And I had to go into part-time plank selling. After office hours, I would go into the sawmill, buy and sell. On Saturday, I'll spend my whole day there. During the holidays, I'll be there selling. And God is so wonderful. I'm not that kind of person who is sickly. I always find time to do things. I prioritize my issues. This council, in the office, my day-to-day activities is not hindered by the thing I do after office hours. So both go separately, and one does not disturb the other. So when I retired, I'd already had a roadmap. that I had to go into plank selling. And after I had served at Osu, served the political appointment, I went to my university, went back and got and retired. When I retired, I was thinking of way forward. The little amount I was able to save from the sabbatical appointment, I joined it together to ensure that I acquired a timber lorry, which cost almost 1 million naira. And 1 million naira in 2003, it was a lot of money.
A lot of money, like maybe 500 million right now.
So that was where the whole thing started. So, and I didn't want to start hopping from one sawmill to the other to beg them to saw my wood planks for me. So I was thinking of how do I acquire my home sawmill. I didn't have enough money. I didn't want to borrow from the banks. And how did I do it? It was God that did it. So I started where do I locate this sawmill? I put on a thinking cap. I'd been away for almost 15 years from home. I wanted to be close to my home. I want to be, and I am so too fond of my mommy. I want to be seeing her every day. She was always there for me. She single-handedly put me through the university. So she was aging then. She's now dead. May her soul rest in perfect peace.
Amen. Sorry, pause the video. About your mom, sir, we want to ask, when was the highest point in your career?
Yeah, the highest point was when I became a deputy registrar, and I've got to retire. The then vice chancellor, I won't mention him at FUNAB, called me and said, "Why did you want to go now?" I told him that I wanted to go and work for myself. He said, "Don't you think we can give you something that you will be doing?" I said, "No, I wanted to go and serve myself. Let me create space for younger elements to come and occupy." So then he wished me well. The same thing happened to me at Usu, OOU. The vice chancellor called me and said, "Now that you have retired from FUNAB, would you want to stay on here on contract appointment?" I said, "No." Now he now asks a question. Are you sure you will be getting as much as your monthly salary from the business you're setting up? I said, "Yes, I may not be getting that much, but I will have freedom. I will be free to do whatever I want to do." And not only that, setting up a business in Nigeria is quite difficult. You cannot run it by proxy. How do I mean? To ask somebody to go and stay there on your behalf, you won't get anything. They will kill the business. Even if you are there, you've got to be up and doing. Otherwise, they will kill the business for you. Everybody say, "Yeah, Sheboro will bring the economy." People have that wrong notion. It's not everybody that's in a vantage position where you can steal. Even if you are in a vantage position, you may decide not to follow the Joneses. So this is the point. And I said, let me go and do it the way I wanted to do it. And God was so merciful. My plans were coming through. I needed about 10 million or thereabout. But I didn't have that kind of money. But I was building it gradually. One thing following the other, especially when you buy machines, to buy generator, then was about 1.5 million. Where would you get the money? Even to acquire land, it is not actually advisable to lease a ground for setting up businesses, because it might be at the point when that business is boosting that the owner of land will say, "Please leave." You've already killed that business. So I had to go on to look for a land to acquire along the Abeokuta-Ibadan road. I wanted to put it in the middle where I can short to between Ibadan and the sawmill, and between Abeokuta and the sawmill. And God was so wonderful, so I had to set it up somewhere in between, where if I want to sleep in Ibadan, I can. If I want to sleep in Abeokuta, I can. And it's been ongoing. It's been daunting. Very, very daunting. Because workers, human beings are very difficult to manage. There's nothing you can do to please them, but just work according to your conscience. Ensure you are very fair to everybody, and follow your innate thoughts. What should I do? Don't prevaricate. If your mind tells you do this, stand up and do it. And in fact, I enjoy it because it's a form of exercise. You wake up in the morning, just don't sit in a place, eat 3 meals, and you become, too fat.
That is secret to long life, sir.
Yes, because once you keep on you keep on thinking of what to do. In fact, it helps your memory. The memory lingers, and you are always there thinking, what do I do next? How do I do this? You are not living a sedentary life.
Sir, looking back now, what would you love to change about your story? I mean, you're an octogenarian. This is rare. What would you love to change about your career goal?
Yes, for a career goal, I know I made a mistake along the line. That mistake was when I abandoned my PhD. I had already done masters. After master's, we were asked to proceed to MPhil PhD. I had already done 2 years. I've done all the courses. It was at the point of writing up that the problem started. It is unlike now where you can do e-transfer, email and whatever. You go and be meeting your supervisor. Unfortunately, it is what they got for me. I wouldn't want to mention name. He was in Unilag. I think the man was a leader for almost 6-7 years. He became frustrated. He got an appointment at the NDA Kaduna. So now the postgraduate coordinator in the department has said, look, alright, I think you've got to go and be meeting your man at Kaduna.
Kaduna. From where, sir?
From Ibadan.
Oh, wow.
For your project and whatever. It's quite, and the children now are growing. This was around 86 to 88 or something. In fairness to the postgraduate coordinator then, I wouldn't mention him, he came in 87. He came to academicals where I was in UI. And I should come and summarize and write off for MPhil, that I've done enough work for MPhil. And I thanked him, and I said, no. If I had known, perhaps I would have, in fact, taken that MPhil. Maybe that would have taken me off the administrative.
Pause.